The human ship Orion floated silently through the vast emptiness of space. Stars blinked like distant lanterns, and the endless darkness stretched in every direction. The crew had been traveling for weeks, mapping new star systems and searching for signs of intelligent life. So far, space had been quiet. Too quiet. Captain Elena Rivera sat on the bridge, her eyes scanning the holographic screens. The crew worked calmly, but the tension in the air was noticeable. Something in space did not feel right. "Captain, I'm picking up an unusual signal," said Lieutenant Raj, his fingers dancing across the control panel. "It's faint, but it's moving toward us." Elena frowned. "Show me," she said. The signal appeared on the main screen, a bright, irregular pulse approaching the ship at high speed. It was unlike any human technology they had ever seen. "Could be a ship," whispered Raj, his voice tight, "or something else." A soft meow interrupted the tension. Everyone looked down to see the ship's security officer, a small gray and white cat named Whiskers. Perched on a console, he flicked his tail, staring at the approaching signal with wide, curious eyes. "Don't tell me we brought a cat on a dangerous mission," muttered the ship's engineer, Sam, shaking his head. "This is serious. He's just a cat." Whiskers blinked slowly at them, as if to say, "I'm not just a cat." "Focus, everyone," Captain Rivera said. "We don't know what we're dealing with yet. Prepare the ship for possible contact. Shields up, weapons on standby, and keep monitoring the signal." The crew moved efficiently. The Orion shields hummed to life, glowing faintly in the dark of space. Laser turrets rotated into position. Raj's fingers flew across the control panel, analyzing the signal. "It's intelligent," he said finally. "The pulses are patterns, almost like language." The crew exchanged nervous glances. First contact. It was a moment every explorer dreamed of and feared. Whiskers, oblivious to human fear, jumped down from the console and padded quietly toward the cockpit. He brushed past the feet of the crew, tail high, and climbed onto a chair as if he owned the place. The signal grew stronger. On the main screen, a formation of alien ships appeared, gliding silently through the void. They were unlike anything humans had seen before. Sleek, dark, and terrifyingly silent. Raj swallowed. "They're coming closer, faster than expected." Captain Rivera took a deep breath. "All crew, brace for possible boarding. Keep calm and stay alert." In the corner, Whiskers yawned, curling up as if this was just another nap. The contrast between the cat's calmness and the crew's tension was almost comical, but it didn't ease the growing fear. Suddenly, the alien ship split into smaller units, moving toward the Orion from different directions. The crew froze for a moment. "They're trying to surround us," Sam said. "If they get through the shields," he didn't finish the sentence. Everyone knew the consequences. Whiskers' ears twitched. He stood up, tail flicking, eyes narrowing. Something in him reacted to the approaching threat, something the humans couldn't yet understand. Captain Rivera leaned forward. "Raj, any sign of weapons? Are they hostile?" Raj's hands trembled slightly. I don't know. Their technology is completely different. It's unlike anything we've ever scanned. Could be hostile or curious. Hard to tell." The tension on the bridge was thick, almost unbearable. Every crew member held their breath, waiting for the first sign of attack or communication. Then, without warning, a small probe from the alien fleet approached the Orion, stopping just outside the shield. A holographic image appeared, a strange, shifting figure that seemed to float in the void. "Captain," Raj whispered, "they're observing us." "They haven't attacked yet." Elena's heart pounded. She had faced crises before, but nothing like this. The unknown, the alien intelligence, the possibility that every move could provoke a disaster. It was all too much. Whiskers, however, approached the probe with complete confidence. He sniffed the air near the control panel, tail high, seemingly fearless. "Look at the cat," Sam said, half laughing despite the tension. "Doesn't even care. Meanwhile, we're about to lose our minds." Elena allowed herself a small smile. "Stay focused. That cat might be our lucky charm." As the alien probe hovered near the ship, sending more strange signals, the crew began to notice something unusual. The signals were not random. They seemed to react to movement inside the ship. And every time Whiskers moved, the signals shifted slightly, almost as if the probe was confused by him. Elena leaned back in her chair, studying the screens. Could a cat really affect their technology? Before anyone could answer, the probe emitted a high-pitched pulse that made the ship's lights flicker. The crew winced, but Whiskers sat calmly, staring at the probe with unblinking eyes. Whatever is coming, Elena said softly, it has no idea what it's dealing with. The alien ships drew closer. The Orion shuddered as its shields adjusted. The crew tightened their grips on consoles, preparing for first contact that would define the course of history. And in the middle of it all, Whiskers, a small, unassuming cat, remained perfectly still, his green eyes glowing in the dim light. The humans didn't know it yet, but their little security officer might be the only thing standing between them and disaster. The bridge fell silent, everyone waiting, watching, and holding their breath. Outside, the alien fleet glided closer, curious, cautious, and completely unaware of the clever guardian waiting inside the Orion. The first contact was about to happen, and no one could predict how it would end. The alien ships hovered closer to the Orion. They moved with a strange, silent grace, almost like living creatures. The crew on the bridge held their breath. Every moment felt heavy, as if space itself was waiting for something to happen. Captain Elena Rivera leaned forward. All crew, stay calm. Prepare for possible boarding. Shields at maximum. Do not make any sudden moves. Lieutenant Raj's hands flew across the control panel, trying to communicate with the alien ships. They're intelligent. I'm trying to send a friendly signal, but they're not responding the way we expected. From the corner of the bridge, Whiskers the cat sat on the console, tail flicking, eyes fixed on the nearest alien ship. The crew ignored him at first, thinking he was just a cat doing cat things. Suddenly, one of the alien ships projected a small beam onto the Orion. A holographic projection appeared, a strange figure, tall and shifting in shape, with limbs that seemed to float in different directions. Raj swallowed. Captain, they're trying to communicate visually. Or scan us. Keep calm, Elena said. Her voice was firm, but her heart raced. Let's not panic. Try to understand them. The alien figure floated closer, scanning the Orion. Lights danced along its body in patterns the crew could barely comprehend. Every move seemed deliberate, intelligent, and careful. Whiskers, however, jumped down from the console and padded across the bridge toward the holographic projection. He sniffed the air near the control panel, eyes narrowing. The alien projection wavered slightly as if confused. Wait, Sam whispered, pointing at the screen. Did you see that? The hologram. It's reacting to Cat. The crew stared in disbelief. Whiskers meowed softly, as if taunting the alien technology. The holographic figure paused, then shifted erratically, its patterns breaking for a moment. Raj's eyes widened. This is incredible. The cat, he's affecting their tech somehow. Elena couldn't believe it. Impossible. He's just a cat. How could... Before she could finish, one of the alien ships attempted to breach the Orion's hull. Small drones shot out, moving quickly toward the ship. The crew braced for impact. Shields holding, Raj reported, but they're persistent. Whiskers, unbothered, jumped onto control panel, stepping across buttons and switches. One of the drones, approaching fast, suddenly slowed, then spun out of control and drifted harmlessly into space. What the... Sam exclaimed. It's the cat stopped it. Elena's jaw dropped. That little furball is saving us. The alien ships paused, clearly confused. Their scanning patterns flickered, trying to adjust. Every time Whiskers moved, their technology seemed to malfunction. The crew realized that the security officer was doing more than sitting around. He was actively interfering with the aliens' attempts. The bridge fell silent, tension mixed with awe. The humans had always believed that intelligence, strategy, and courage were key to survival. But now, a small cat seemed to be their greatest asset. Raj spoke quietly, almost in disbelief. It's like He knows what they're doing before they do it. The drones can't get through. The holograms are confused. It's incredible. Elena nodded slowly, still staring at Whiskers. We always underestimated him. But maybe he's exactly what we need right now. The aliens, sensing failure in their approach, retreated slightly. Their formations shifted, scanning the Orion more cautiously. They were intelligent, but they didn't understand the cat, nor could they predict his next move. Whiskers sat calmly, tail wrapped around his paws, watching the alien ships with bright, unblinking eyes. He seemed to understand the danger, but he didn't fear it. The humans, on the other hand, were still amazed and slightly terrified by what was happening. Elena exhaled slowly. All right, everyone stay alert. They may try again. But for now, it seems we have an unusual advantage. The camera pans to the main viewport. The alien ships linger at a distance, still observing, still curious. And in the middle of the chaos, a small cat, the most unlikely hero, remained perfectly composed, ready to defend his human crew in ways no one could have imagined. The first contact had begun. The humans didn't know how it would end, but one thing was clear. No one expected the Orion security officer to be the most dangerous threat to their alien attackers. Outside, the stars twinkled, indifferent to the drama unfolding. Inside, a tiny cat was about to change the fate of the entire crew, and the suspense was far from over. The alien ships hovered a short distance away from the Orion. Their dark, sleek bodies shimmered faintly under distant starlight. The crew on the bridge watched nervously. Every movement of the alien fleet made the humans tense, waiting for the first sign of an attack. Captain Elena Rivera stood at the center, eyes fixed on the main viewport. They're not retreating completely. They're studying us and waiting. Lieutenant Raj shook his head. Their behavior is strange. They're not like any species we've ever encountered. It's almost cautious, calculating. Whiskers, however, seemed unconcerned. The small gray and white cat walked slowly along the edge of the console, tail high, ears twitching. His green eyes followed the alien ships intently, as if he could understand their every move. "Look at him," whispered Sam. "He's watching them, like he knows what's going to happen next." Elena raised an eyebrow. "It's a cat, Sam. He's adorable, yes, but he's a cat." Sam shrugged. "Maybe he's more than a cat." Suddenly, one of the alien ships emitted a scanning pulse toward the Orion. Lights flickered across the bridge as sensors registered the energy. The humans tensed. The pulse approached the section of the ship where Whiskers had just stepped. Almost immediately, the pulse wavered, then shifted direction. The aliens tried again. Another pulse. But each time, Whiskers moved slightly, and each time, the pulses failed to reach their intended targets. Raj's mouth dropped open. He's interfering with their scanning systems." Elena leaned forward, studying the small cat. "Impossible. How is he doing that?" Whiskers paused, crouched low on the console, and swished his tail carefully. Another alien probe moved toward the ship, aiming for the main reactor. The crew held their breath. Whiskers leapt gracefully from the console, landing near the reactor control panel. His tiny paw brushed a button, and the probe's approach faltered. The alien ship emitted a strange, high-pitched noise, retreating slightly. Sam rubbed his eyes. Did the cat just stop it? Elena nodded slowly, almost in disbelief. It appears he did. But why? How? The alien ships hovered at a distance, now clearly cautious. Their scanning pulses became irregular, their movements hesitant. The humans realized that the ordinary ship cat was not ordinary at all. Whiskers turned and walked toward the bridge chair, tail curling elegantly around his body. He jumped up, sitting perfectly in the center, as if commanding attention. His gaze never left the alien fleet. Raj whispered to Elena, "Captain, maybe we've been underestimating him this whole time. Maybe he's a real security officer of this ship." Elena's lips curved into a small smile. "If that's true, then we're luckier than I thought." Suddenly, the alien fleet shifted, sending multiple small drones toward the Orion simultaneously. The crew tensed, expecting a battle. Whiskers, however, did not panic. He walked calmly across the bridge, weaving between consoles, eyes fixed on the drones. Each time he moved, one drone would falter, another would misfire, and the fleet's formation began to break apart. "Captain, the cat is controlling them," Raj said in awe. "Or at least confusing them." Elena's heart raced. "Keep monitoring. Do not engage manually. Let's see what happens next." The alien ships hovered, confused and cautious. They had never encountered a creature like Whiskers. Intelligent? Unpredictable? Too small to take seriously? They couldn't understand, and that confusion worked in the Orion's favor. Whiskers jumped back onto the console, his tail swishing. He looked at the crew briefly, as if to say, "Don't worry, I've got this." The bridge fell silent, tension mixed with amazement. The humans realized they were witnessing something incredible. The aliens were advanced, yet they were helpless against a small, observant cat. Outside, the stars continued to shine indifferently. Inside, a tiny guardian was rewriting the rules of first contact. And the crew understood one thing clearly. This was no ordinary cat. Whiskers was watching, learning, and protecting them in ways no human could. The aliens hesitated, scanning again. The humans held their breath. And Whiskers, the unassuming hero, sat in the center of the bridge, eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. The first move had been made. The next move could decide the fate of the Orion. The alien fleet had paused at a short distance from the Orion. Their formations wavered, scanning the ship with strange, glowing pulses. The crew on the bridge exchanged tense glances. They had never seen the aliens behave this way. Hesitant, confused, unsure. Captain Elena Rivera gripped the edge of her chair. "All crew, stay alert. They're still dangerous. We don't know what they'll do next." Lieutenant Raj pointed at the screen. "Captain, the drones are moving erratically. Their formations are collapsing. It's like something inside the ship is interfering with them." Sam shook his head in disbelief. "The cat. It has to be the cat. He's moving around and they're completely confused." Whiskers, the small gray and white cat, strolled calmly across the bridge, tail flicking. He jumped onto the console near the ship's main controls, sniffed around, and pressed a small button with his paw. Immediately, one of the alien drones veered sharply off course, spinning in space like a toy gone wrong. Another collided with his partner, and a third drifted aimlessly, emitting sparks of strange energy. "Look at that," Raj exclaimed. "The cat just disrupted their whole boarding attempt." Elena stared, her jaw tight. "We've underestimated him all along. Who knew our security officer could be this effective?" Outside, the alien ships reacted to chaos. Their beams flickered, and they attempted to regain control over their drones. But every time they sent a new pulse, Whiskers moved slightly and the effect repeated. It was as if he could anticipate their actions before they even executed them. One of the aliens, larger than the others, projected a more complex holographic figure onto the Orion. Its limbs twisted and shifted in strange patterns, clearly trying to analyze the source of the interference. Whiskers froze, ears twitching. He stared directly at the projection. The alien figure paused, almost as if it recognized a threat. But it couldn't understand what it was. Sam leaned closer to Raj. "They don't even realize the cat is doing this intentionally. They think it's a malfunction in the ship." Raj nodded. "And that gives us the upper hand. As long as they don't know, we control the situation." The drones tried again, faster this time, attempting to bypass the Orion shields. But each movement Whiskers made caused confusion in their programming. One drone spun out of control, colliding with another, sending sparks flying into space. Another tried to dock, but slid past harmlessly. Elena exhaled slowly. "Everyone, stay calm. We don't need to fire a single shot. Let the cat do his work." The crew stared in amazement. The small feline had become the most effective defense against an advanced alien fleet. His calm movements, small and deliberate, disrupted technology far beyond anything humans had imagined. Raj's fingers flew across the console, monitoring the interference. "Captain, it's incredible. The cat isn't just lucky. He's analyzing, reacting, almost predicting them." Whiskers jumped gracefully from the console to the floor, weaving between consoles with ease. Every step, every paw movement caused another ripple of chaos among the alien drones. Sam laughed quietly. I can't believe this. A cat is saving us from aliens. Elena allowed herself a small smile, though her eyes stayed on the viewport. Sometimes, the smallest things are the most dangerous, or the most valuable. The aliens, unable to regain control of their drones, retreated slightly. Their formations were broken, their plan foiled. For the first time, they faced real resistance from the Orion, not from humans, but from a small, fearless cat. Whisker sat back on the console, tail wrapped neatly around his paws, watching the fleet like a general overseeing a battlefield. The crew realized that their tiny security officer had just changed the rules of engagement entirely. Outside, the stars remained silent witnesses to the unexpected battle. Inside, a small cat had turned a seemingly impossible situation into one in humanity's favor. The aliens would think twice before attempting another boarding. And the humans, they were beginning to understand that Whiskers was no ordinary pet. He was their first line of defense, their secret weapon, and perhaps the smartest crew member aboard the Orion. The first real mistake by the aliens had been made, and it had come from underestimating a small, unassuming cat. The bridge fell quiet, tension mixed with relief. But the crew knew this was far from over. The aliens would return, and when they did, Whiskers and the humans had to be ready. The alien fleet had retreated slightly, but the tension on the Orion's bridge was far from over. Every crew member knew this was only temporary. The aliens would return, and likely with more force. Captain Elena Rivera took a deep breath. Everyone, stay alert. Shields are stable, but we cannot let our guard down. Lieutenant Raj's eyes were glued to the sensor panel. Captain, they're regrouping. It looks like they're preparing for a full boarding. Their drones and their main ships. It's bigger than before. Sam groaned, running a hand through his hair. And here I thought we were safe. We're about to be overwhelmed, and all I've got is the cat. Whiskers, oblivious to human panic, leapt onto the console with perfect balance. His green eyes gleamed with focus, watching the approaching alien ships like a seasoned officer. Suddenly, multiple drones shot forward, moving faster and in tighter formations than before. The bridge shook slightly as the ship's alarms blared. Brace for impact! Elena shouted. The crew scrambled to their stations. Raj frantically adjusted shields while Sam tried to reroute power to the defense systems. But no matter what they did, the drones seemed almost unstoppable. Whiskers, calm as ever, patted across the console. One small paw pressed a button, another nudged a lever, and suddenly, one drone veered sharply off course, colliding with another. Sparks flew outside, and the crew watched in stunned silence. Wait! He did it again, Sam said, eyes wide. Every time he moves, the drones mess up. Elena's mouth dropped. That little fur ball, he's saving us again. But how long can this keep working? The alien's main ship sent a new, high-energy pulse toward the Orion. Lights flickered, and the ship shuddered. Crew members gripped consoles as the energy pulse threatened to overload systems. Whiskers jumped down from the console and ran toward the core of the bridge. With a small leap, he landed near the main control panel and stepped on a series of switches. The pulse dissipated, harmlessly deflected into space. Raj whispered in disbelief. I can't believe this. The cat just saved the ship again. Sam laughed nervously. I've seen a lot of crazy things in space, but this is insane. We're being saved by a cat. Elena, despite the fear still coursing through her, allowed herself a small smile. Sometimes, the most unlikely heroes are the most effective. Whiskers, you may be our best crew member yet. The aliens, clearly frustrated, regrouped. They sent a new wave of drones more aggressive than before. This time, the crew panicked slightly, unsure if even Whiskers could stop them all. Whiskers crouched, tail twitching, eyes sharp and focused. He leapt onto the console again, moving quickly and deliberately, pressing buttons, nudging controls, and causing every drone to misfire or collide. The alien ship's formation fell apart completely. The crew stared, half terrified, half amazed. He's controlling them, Raj whispered. Or at least confusing them completely. Elena nodded slowly. We've never seen anything like this. That cat isn't just a pet. He's a tactical genius. As the aliens hesitated, confused and unable to regain control, the crew realized the truth. Their survival depended on their smallest, furriest member. Whiskers moved with calm precision, a silent hero in a tense battle no human could have won alone. The aliens, unable to continue their boarding attempt, retreated once more. The Orion shields glowed faintly, damaged in small ways but holding strong. The crew exhaled, their panic slowly giving way to awe and relief. Sam rubbed his face. I can't believe it. We survived because of a cat. Elena leaned back, still focused on the viewport. Yes, and we must remember this. Whiskers is not just a companion. He's our secret weapon. The aliens underestimated him, and that may have saved us all. Whiskers curled up on the console, tail wrapped neatly around his paws. His green eyes flicked toward the viewport, still alert, still ready for the next move. The humans had survived their first real panic moment in space. It was all thanks to the calm, clever, and utterly unassuming cat who watched, analyzed, and acted when it mattered most. Outside, the alien fleet disappeared temporarily into the stars. Inside, the crew knew this was only the beginning. But one thing was certain. As long as Whiskers was aboard, they had hope. The bridge was quiet now, the alarm silenced, but tension lingered. Every crew member watched the small cat, realizing that survival in deep space sometimes depended on the most unexpected heroes. The first wave had been repelled, but the war of wits and paws was far from over. The Orion had survived another tense encounter, but the crew was still on edge. Captain Elena Rivera leaned back in her chair, watching Whiskers curl up calmly on the console. The small cat had already proven to be more than any of them could have imagined. Lieutenant Raj rubbed his eyes. Captain, I still can't believe it. That cat, he saved us twice already. But how? Sam shook his head. It's impossible. He's just a cat. He shouldn't even understand what's happening out there. Elena stayed quiet for a moment, staring at Whiskers. Then she sighed. Maybe he isn't just a cat. Suddenly, an alert popped up on Raj's console. Captain, I'm picking up some old encrypted files in the ship's AI database. They're classified top secret. Elena frowned. Show me. Raj pulled up the files. Images and reports flashed across the screen. Detailed schematics of a small gray and white cat labeled as Unit Alpha, Advanced Security Operative. Sam blinked. Wait, what? That's Whiskers. Elena nodded slowly. It seems our pet isn't just a pet. He's a genetically enhanced security unit, trained, or perhaps designed, to protect this ship and its crew in ways no human could. Raj scrolled through the files. It says here he's been enhanced for intelligence, reflexes, and even strategic thinking. He can analyze threats, manipulate systems, and predict enemy movements. The bridge fell silent. The crew stared at Whiskers, who yawned lazily, completely unconcerned by the revelation. His green eyes glimmered knowingly, as if he were aware of their astonishment. Sam shook his head in disbelief. All this time, we thought he was just a cute little cat, and he's been protecting us the whole time. Elena allowed herself a small smile. We've been lucky. Most humans would have underestimated him, and probably paid the price. But now we know the truth. He's not just a companion. He's the Orion's most effective security officer. Whiskers stretched elegantly and jumped onto the captain's chair, looking directly at her. His presence was calm, commanding, and confident. Raj whispered, It explains everything. The drones, the alien interference, the way they can't figure him out. He's built to be unpredictable, untraceable, and unstoppable. Elena nodded slowly. And that's why the aliens are hesitant. They don't understand him. They can't predict him. And that gives us the advantage. Sam chuckled nervously. So, basically, our cat is smarter than any alien technology we've encountered so far. Whiskers flicked his tail, as if acknowledging the compliment. He glanced at the viewport, watching the distant alien ships that had temporarily retreated, and then settled back down, eyes half closed but alert. Elena leaned back in her chair, feeling a strange mix of relief and admiration. We may be humans, but we've been given an incredible ally, one that the universe didn't expect. Raj whispered, "It's almost poetic. A tiny, unassuming cat saving a whole human ship from aliens. No one would ever believe it if they saw it." The bridge was quiet, the crew absorbing the revelation. Whiskers, oblivious to human amazement, yawned again, clearly comfortable with his secret now known. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, indifferent to the drama aboard the Orion. Inside, however, a small guardian had changed the game entirely. Humans might have strength, courage, and technology, but intelligence, cunning, and quick thinking sometimes came in a far smaller, furrier package. Captain Elena Rivera glanced at Whiskers. "Prepare the crew for the next encounter. They'll be back, and when they return, we'll be ready, thanks to our secret weapon." The camera lingered on Whiskers, the unassuming cat whose true identity had just been revealed. Calm, confident, and now fully appreciated by the crew, he remained the silent guardian of the Orion. The humans had survived not by firepower, but by wit, and by trusting a hero they had never truly understood before. And somewhere in the dark, silent reaches of space, the aliens were probably realizing that they had made a grave mistake. Whiskers blinked slowly, as if to say, "Let them come. I am ready." The suspense hung thick in the air. The crew knew one thing for certain. The real battle was yet to come. The Orion drifted silently in the black expanse of space. The crew had barely recovered from the last encounter, but their captain knew the aliens would return. And this time, they would be stronger, more cautious, and more dangerous. Captain Elena Rivera stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the stars. All crew positions. Shields up, weapons ready. This is it, the final test. Lieutenant Raj nodded, fingers hovering over the controls. They're approaching, faster than before and in greater numbers. It's going to be chaotic. Sam muttered under his breath, pacing nervously. And we're still relying on a cat to save us. Whiskers, sitting calmly atop the main console, flicked his tail. His green eyes glowed softly, reflecting the stars outside. The crew stared at him for a moment, realizing the truth. The small feline was the Orion's best chance of survival. The alien fleet appeared, sleek and menacing, stretching across the viewport. Their drone shot forward immediately, aiming for key points on the ship. The crew braced for impact. "Hold steady," Elena commanded. "Let's see what our secret officer can do." Whiskers leapt onto the console, moving quickly and gracefully. Each paw landed on controls, triggering systems, nudging buttons, and manipulating the Orion's defenses in ways the humans couldn't fully understand. The drones collided with shields and each other, sparks fly in the vacuum of space. The alien ships tried to adapt, but every action Whiskers made counted them. One drone spun out of control, another misfired, and several more were disabled entirely. Raj's eyes widened. He's predicting them. Every move we make, every drone they send, he knows before they do. Sam shook his head in disbelief. "I've never seen anything like this. A cat is fighting aliens and winning." Elena smiled faintly. "He's not just fighting. They're underestimating him. That's their mistake." The aliens tried a more aggressive tactic, a massive energy pulse aimed directly at the Orion, intending to disable the ship's shields and electronics. The crew tensed, fearing the worst. Whiskers didn't panic. He leapt onto the central control panel, tail flicking, paw pressing a precise combination of buttons. The pulse dissipated harmlessly, deflected into space. The crew gasped in awe. "They can't touch him," Raj whispered. "And they can't touch us because of him." Elena nodded. Humans may have courage and technology, but Whiskers has intelligence, speed, and unpredictability. He's unbeatable right now. The alien fleet hesitated. Their formation broke, scanning and analyzing, unable to comprehend the tiny threat that foiled all their plans. The crew realized the truth. Their small, unassuming companion had become the ultimate weapon. Whiskers moved across the bridge, calmly stepping over consoles, making small adjustments and nudges that caused chaos among the alien fleet. Each movement was precise, deliberate, and devastating. Sam laughed nervously. I never thought I'd say this, but our cat is a genius. Elena leaned back in her chair, watching the alien ships retreat slowly. They've underestimated us. They've underestimated him. And that's why we survive. The fleet eventually broke formation completely, retreating into the darkness of space. The Orion's shield shimmered faintly but remained intact. The crew exhaled, relief flooding through them. Whiskers jumped down, tail swishing with casual elegance, and curled up on the console as if nothing had happened. The humans stared at him in amazement, realizing that the battle and the victory was all because of him. Captain Elena Rivera approached the cat, gently scratching behind his ears. "Well done, Whiskers. You've saved us again." Whiskers blinked slowly, almost smugly, as if acknowledging the praise. The humans had survived an impossible encounter. Their courage had helped, their technology had protected them. But their secret weapon, the small, clever, fearless cat, had ensured their triumph. Outside, the stars twinkled silently. Inside, the Orion's crew knew one thing for certain. Sometimes, the most unlikely heroes make the biggest difference. The alien fleet had learned a harsh lesson. Never underestimate humans and never, ever underestimate a cat. And in the bridge's quiet aftermath, Whisker sat proudly, the unassuming guardian who would save them all. The Orion floated quietly in the calm darkness of space. The alien fleet had retreated, leaving behind only the distant shimmer of stars. The bridge was filled with a mixture of relief, awe, and quiet laughter. Captain Elena Rivera exhaled slowly, finally allowed herself to relax. "Everyone, we made it. We survived. Thanks to all of you and our special crew member." Lieutenant Rod shook his head, still staring at Whiskers curled up on the console. "I still can't believe it. A cat saved us from an alien fleet. Twice." Sam laughed nervously. "I thought I'd seen everything in space, but this is impossible. Our secret weapon is a cat." Whiskers blinked slowly, tail flicking in approval, as if he had expected the praise all along. He stretched elegantly and yawned, clearly pleased with his work. Elena walked over and gently scratched behind Whiskers' ears. "You've earned yourself a very comfortable nap, officer. Excellent work." The crew smiled, realizing that while humans had strength, courage, and technology, sometimes the smallest, cleverest creatures could make the biggest difference. Whiskers had not just saved the Orion. He had protected the crew in ways no one could have predicted. Raj looked at the stars beyond the viewport. "Do you think they'll come back?" Elena's gaze remained steady. "Perhaps, but now we know something they don't. And as long as Whiskers is with us, I think we'll be ready." Outside, the stars sparkled quietly, indifferent to the drama they had witnessed. Inside, the humans had learned an important lesson. Intelligence, bravery, and loyalty can come in the most unexpected forms. Sam chuckled, looking at Whiskers. "I guess we need to stop calling him just a cat. He's the real captain of this ship." Whiskers blinked slowly and stretched, his green eyes glimmering with quiet confidence. The humans laughed softly, realizing their little guardian had earned every bit of respect. As the crew began to settle, a sudden alert flashed on the main console. A new signal appeared. Faint, mysterious, and unlike anything they'd encountered before. Raj frowned. "Captain," another signal. "And it's strange. Not like the last one." Elena's eyes narrowed. Could be another encounter, or something entirely new. Whiskers perked up, tail twitching. He jumped onto the console and stared at the signal intently, ears forward and alert. It was as if he already understood the importance of what was coming. Elena smiled faintly. "Well, team, it seems our adventure is far from over, but with Whiskers on our side, I think we're ready for whatever comes next." The camera lingered on the small, clever cat who had turned the tide against an advanced alien fleet and now stared at the unknown signal with unwavering focus. The Orion sailed onward, its crew stronger, wiser, and more united than ever. And somewhere in the vast emptiness of space, a tiny guardian, small, unassuming, and brilliant, remained their secret weapon, ready to face whatever challenges awaited. The humans had triumphed, and their cat? He was just getting started.